Welcome to Skippy Lee. This is your verb chart video. Everything we're going to do now is review. It's just so that you have it all in one place. Okay, this is the very first part of your notes. I just screenshotted it. Notice I have the dictionary entries for all the example verbs we're going to use. Let's start with those present personal endings. O or M, as you're used to seeing now. S, T, mus, tis, and T. And then to find the present stem, you drop the RE off the second principal part for first, second, and fourth conjugation. And for third, you drop the O off the first principal part. Again, this is all review. You know this all. The only thing that I do want to kind of talk about a little bit and add in is this idea of the present system. I've mentioned this here or there, but I really want you to hear about it now and understand. Present system. Okay, these three tenses form the present system: the present, the imperfect, and the future. And they're a system because they all use these endings and are built on these stems. So if you see these endings or these stems, you know it's either present, imperfect, or future. Okay, let's do the present tense and fill this. First, let's fill in that formula up top. Again, it's present stem and present personal ending, like we just said. Since the present tense is part of the present system, it's going to use present stem and present personal endings. And the translation is just I verb or I am verbing. So for our stem for amare is ama. I just dropped the re off the infinitive that I gave you there. And then I read it all the way down. Notice for that first one I just didn't put the A because I know I need to drop it. So amo, amas, amat, amamas, amatis, amant. And then little asterisk of line goes with amo, because if I were to follow it and put present stem plus present personal endings, it would be amao. But since I don't do that, I need my asterisk of line. Okay, the next verb we're looking at is docere. Again, doke, I just dropped the re off, write my stem all the way down, fill in my endings. Okay, for these last three, we need to pull up the dictionary entries. So these are all from the front of your page. I just screenshotted them and put them here. So ponere, or pono ponere, I dropped the O and my stem is pon. For capio, capere, capi, this is a third IO verb because that first principal part ends with an IO. When I drop the O, I have a capi, I have an I at the end of my stem. That's the third IO verbs. And then munio, munire, again I dropped the RE off the infinitive for fourth conjugation. And so we got muni right there. All right, let's go through and fill these out now. For present, I'm going to write my present stem all the way down. Then my first one's pono. That's normal, present stem, plus my personal ending, O. But then for the other ones, notice I've got those IS's in there, or the I in the ending. And the last one's a UNT. So like we've talked about, Latin does not like to just have a consonant stem and then a consonant ending. So it adds in those I's. It also doesn't like to have INT, so it's got a U. So you just have to memorize this pattern of O, 4 I's, and a U. And remember, the other way to think about it is it's I's except the first one and the last one, which are different. Okay, and then same thing for capio. I'm going to write my stem all the way down and then add my endings. And notice, because I've got an I in the stem already, this is normal, except for this very last one, which has the UNT. And there's my little asterisk of line. All right, for munio, munire, it looks a lot like third IO, where you have the moon all the way down, and then the endings, and then you've got the UNT for the last one, and our little asterisk of line. Okay, now let's go on, and we're going to talk about the imperfect tense. Now, the imperfect is part of the present system, so it does present stem and present personal endings in all our conjugations. And then we have the tense marker that lets us know it's imperfect, which are those bas, that ba or that iba. Notice that fourth conjugation follows the exact same rules as third. And the translation is I used to verb or I was verbing. I have our stems already written in since we already found them. So the first one, write your stem all the way down, write your bas, write your endings with that M being a first person instead of the O. Okay, doke, just popping those all up there because it's the exact same rules as the first one. Pon, notice I've got your stems all the way down. I'm adding ibas this time because it's third conjugation. And then our endings. Capi, remember to keep that I in there so it's capieba. And then our endings, Mooney, exact same thing, EBA, and then the NT. Third IO and fourth always look pretty similar. Okay, now if you look at the next part of your packet, it says the perfect system. So the perfect system, like the present system, is just like all these verbs kind of follow the same patterns. It also has like a basic tense, a past tense, and a future tense of the perfect, the pluperfect, and the future perfect. And the difference between them is that perfect tenses show that things happen once and then carry on. So instead of like I was walking the dog in the imperfect, I walked the dog just once. Okay, so all the perfect verbs, all the perfect, pluperfect, and future perfect are built on this stem, where you drop the I of the third principal part. But really, we only use these perfect personal endings for the perfect tense. And I want you to remember that even the most irregular verbs follow a pretty regular pattern in the perfect system. So like assume doesn't have all those weird stem changings. You just take the perfect stem and add the perfect endings. Okay, so perfect stem, perfect personal endings, and the translation is I verbed, or I did verb, or I have verbed. And if you're still confused with that, go back and watch the perfect tense video, because there's a whole thing on there. All right, so I need my dictionary entries to find my stems, because I have the, I need the third principal part. So amav is my first one, doku is my second, pausu is my third, kep is my third IO, and muniv is my fourth. They all follow the exact same rules. You drop the I of the third principal part for every single verb in Latin. All right, so I'm writing my stem all the way down, and then my endings. And perfect is so normal, it's the exact same thing all the way across. Stem, ESD at endings. Stem, ESD at endings. Stem, ESD at endings. Stem, ESD at endings. That's the end of this video, actually. Although I know there's the pluperfect on your packet still that's not filled out, we'll go over that actually closer to the end of the school year. All right, well, late, Scipuli.